Welcome back, participants. And today, the last session is handled by Dr. N Bhalaji. And today's the session is about case studies in blockchain. And I would like to hand over the session to Dr. N Bhalaji.
Thank you, Prakash. Good morning, all. How was the sessions? I hope you had a fruitful session throughout this week. And as a continuation, I'll be talking about the use cases. What are the different use cases which are already being deployed or used in the real world scenario? And in case if some of them could be enhanced or something which is popping in your mind, you can also share it with me. So I'll be just giving you a consolidated collection of what are the startups, what are the potential use cases available in the vertical of blockchain technology. Okay, 1 minute. All of you able to see the screen?
Yes, Bhalaji, it's visible.
Yeah, thank you, Prakash. Okay, I'll start. Like it will be more like a continuous session or the continuity, or it will be more like a continuation of from where I stopped on the previous day. So here I'll be just giving you, don't worry, I'm not going to deep. I'll be just giving you a basic introduction about public, private, and federated blockchain. There are 3 types of blockchain. Based on its framework or based on its architecture, we classify them into 3 types. One is public, second one is private, and third one is consortium or federated blockchain. What is public blockchain? From the name, you can understand that it is open to all users. This is the example what we saw in the in my session. Like I was explaining you about Bitcoin based network, where we can anybody can propose a node, anybody can add a node, and so on, right? If you recall that, that is a classical example of a public blockchain. As well, if you have come across Ethereum networks, Ethereum is also stands as an example of a public blockchain. So where you don't have any restriction for anybody to join the network, and anybody, there we don't have any classification. We don't follow any hierarchy. Every user will be treated on par with other, and everyone will have a right, more or less same rights which they enjoy among them. It is open and transparent. There is no one in charge. It's completely decentralized. Everyone can read, write, access to the ledger, and participate in the decision making. And again, decision making, by this time, when I say decision making, we all come to a consensus and we agree upon a common algorithm, which are common policy upon which we are going to arrive at a conclusion. As there is no dedicated in charge, decentralized consensus mechanisms like proof of work or proof of stake are used to agree upon final state of the ledger. These are all the 2 major algorithms, consensus algorithm, which are mostly used in public network. The examples are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, Lisk, Factom, and Blockstream. Private blockchain. And again, from the name, you can understand what is its nature. Private blockchain, as the name claims, is a private property of an individual or an organization. It is not decentralized like public blockchain. Here, it's more like, for example, if Dr. Prakash want to create a blockchain for Karpagam College of Engineering, he will be creating only with the entities, and he will be only allowing the people who are part of that particular college, Karpagam College of Engineering. Or say, imagine I am going to create a private blockchain for SSN College of Engineering. I'll be only admitting the stakeholders who are connected with my college. So it's not a public chain. It's not something that anybody can participate in that. So this is organization oriented. There will be an in charge. You cannot call this as a complete decentralized one. Since we are talking about private and since we are talking about limited users, it will be more like a quasi centralized unit. Like there will be one coordinator. For example, if I am creating the blockchain, I may be assigned as a coordinator, or I may assign someone as a coordinator. Consensus or mining rights are achieved through in charge. Obviously, for example, if
சார் இதுல ஏதாவது இம்ப்ரூவ்மெண்ட்ஸ் கொண்டு வரணுமா?
இந்த பேப்பர் அனுப்புனா டுவைஸ் வந்து நான் கோ த்ரூ பண்ணிட்டு நான்
Prakash,
எனக்கு நான் இன்னும்
can you mute yourself? Yeah, thank you. So
sorry, Balaji.
Yeah, no issues. So what happens here is the consensus is achieved only through in charges. Like for example, if we are creating a private blockchain for a college, the principal may be the person whom we might have given a rights for arriving at a consensus, or mining. See, mining, please keep one thing in mind. Mining is the activity which is involved only in the Bitcoin based blockchain systems. Mining is not used in other kind of systems, and it's not mandatory that you, whenever you are using a blockchain, you should use mining. So keep that in mind. So here private blockchains will have a dedicated authority who will be the more like owner of the system or boss of the system. The main drawback of this system, the beauty of decentralization, the open protocols, it gets lost, right? So we cannot still claim that this will be a central, I mean, it will be a decentralized system. Yes, here some administrator will be there. He will be the one who will be dictating the terms. Examples for private chain are multi-chain block stack. These are all the frameworks which you can use to develop your own private chains. Consortium blockchain. It's again a classical example of combination of both private and public chain. Let's again consider an example. Private chain, Karpagam College of Engineering is creating for its own, that is a private chain. SSN College of Engineering is creating for its own, it's a private chain. PSG is creating for its own, it is a private chain. Now, we all know whether it is autonomous or affiliated college, we all come under the purview of Anna University, Chennai. So when the consortium means Anna University, when it creates a blockchain for all these colleges, so within the college, whatever you do, that will come under the category of private blockchain. Whereas when you are interacting with other colleges and the university, you become a consortium. Again, in people in Tamil Nadu, you can understand we have a consortium for self-financing engineering colleges, where all colleges will be a member and they will be interacting with the university through a common forum. That is what consortium is all about. So consortium fetch both centralized and decentralized concept. So it is controlled by group of member. This is partially decentralized. Here all or some of the members will have a read access, only few will have a write access. They are predefined set of nodes where the users have access to write the data or block. For example, if all the controller of examination office forms a blockchain, only your controller on behalf of your college will enjoy the right of writing, reading, or editing, I mean updating the information and so on. The classical example for consortium based blockchain are Ripple and R3. Ripple, R3's product is Coda. These are all the framework which are very commonly used for consortium based blockchain. And for your information, Ripple collaborates with a lot of academic institutions. They even offer PhD and postdoctoral fellowships in collaboration with IIT Hyderabad. So the point is, whenever we are talking about business use case, now earlier, if you see before a decade, everything was oriented towards institutions. But now if you see the entire business paradigm is moving towards communities. So they are moving towards communities. That is, we take into account of individual, we take into account of a set of people. You all know, right? Smartwatches, even the big players like Amazon, Microsoft, they all they are all greed to collect your data, individual data, because they know that data is going to play a vital role. And each and every individual, mostly we have 6 to 7 forum or 6 to 7 gateways through which a company or a corporate can collect data from us. Your mobile phone is one forum, your car, your smart watches, your smart gadgets, your laptops, whatnot, all such things will start feeding the data, will start sending the data to a intended customer or user. So this paradigm shift, we need to understand that institutions had been the sole market makers. Now it is about change to communities. Deconstructing the trust infrastructure. Someone asked me, like, how will we introduce trust among unknown entities? I hope I answered that question on that day. So what happens here is, when we are talking about a trust infrastructure, the person who is going to be part of the business, you cannot trust them. See, for example, let's take a simple example, real world example. You are ordering for a product in the Amazon and you are claiming pay on delivery, like pay on delivery. If you choose that pay on delivery, it is an indication that the Amazon is trusting on you, right? What is the trust? Do you have any transactions with the Amazon earlier? No, it may not be the case. If you are a first customer also, you may enjoy that. So it actually, this business paradigm shift has taken place where trust infrastructure has been completely reconstructed. I would say it's completely reconstructed, and that is what we are going to use here in most of our blockchain use cases. Sharing economy. So sharing economy is set to explode. See, PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC are a very, very important audit firm in the US. Okay, they recently released research into European sharing economy. The economist Rob Wagon stated that our view is that growth in the sharing economy is only just beginning. By 2025, we estimate that many areas of sharing economy will rival the size of the traditional counterparts. So sharing is going to be a very, very, very important economy. To be very precise and give you an exact example, your Ola ride shares, your Uber ride shares, like that, sharing will start happening in all places. And technically speaking, we have already leveraged cloud into us, right? We do share places commonly. We do share data centers commonly. Other use cases, I'll come to it. Non-financial use cases, you have authentication, digital identity, marketplace, smart contract, real estates, diamonds, blockchain and IoT, app developments, network infrastructure, APIs, and so on. Furthermore, currency exchange, P2P, ride sharing, gaming, trading platforms, all those company names, and I have taken it and I have given to you. You can look into it. These are all the global look at the use cases. If you see, the most important use cases are payments, supply chain management, record management, financial management, voting, media, energy, peer-to-peer, IoT, big data, whatnot. So these are all the different potential blockchain use cases. See, in the government of Estonia, in partnership with the organization called BitNation, is offering a public notary services to Estonian e-residents. Actually, it is the first country in the globe to give you e-citizenship. And the beauty here is, now they have allowed their citizens to get married in a mode of a blockchain-based technology. What is that? The Spanish-born residents of London, Edwin Lolnans and Mail de Borneol, their marriage won't be recorded anywhere. Instead, it will be part of a blockchain. They don't get registered in any of the paper document. Their marriage was the first ever in the world to get registered in the blockchain. How it gets registered in the blockchain? That's what option is given by BitNation, company called BitNation. A distributed database accessible to anyone with a private key, much like the process that registers Bitcoin transaction. So these they got married through that. The couple wrote their own marriage contract under the Lax family law of Ontario, Canada. It has 42-month term, but it can be amended and extended if necessary. See, it's all West-based marriage, so you all know they have a minimal period of agreement, so they have to live together at least for 42 months. Then later on, they can extend their terms and so on. I'm not trying to say that we should also bring the same kind of contract over here in our culture, but what I'm trying to say here is, why don't we think of replacing our traditional registration offices, at least for the sake of marriages, into a blockchain based system? Okay. So blockchain will store the contract and any eventual changes. This is, I mean, again, their digital ID numbers were stored, and that's how. So see, if you see interesting factors, the notarization didn't work at the first time. On the second attempt, a digital signature certificate was finally generated. Everybody whooped, and the bride and groom held their hands. So that's how the marriage took place. Lottery business. How this Ethereum based, I mean, this guy is Vitalik Buterin. He is the founder of Ethereum. Keyboard takes care of that by allowing purchases to anyone with access to internet. All the winnings are paid in cryptocurrencies, and the same goes for buying tickets. So this lottery business is completely powered by Ethereum based blockchain system. So buying a lottery, transacting it, even after winning the prize, you will be paid only through blockchain. This is one more interesting use case. Smart alarm clock. We call this as a smart alarm clock, DApp. It's based on DApp. This is powered by Syscoin smart contract platform. What they do is, if you wake up early, then you'll be rewarded. But again, don't ask me who deposits money over there. You have to deposit the money. It is one such practice where it can initiate the people to change their routine or change their wake up time. For example, if I intend to wake up early, to be precise, if I want to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, then what can I do is, I can deposit some amount of Bitcoin upfront in this Better Not Rest or Syscoin. Then based on my wake up time, if I wake up correctly for 5 days or 10 days, then I'll be getting reward from that amount what I have already deposited. If I don't do, I'll be penalized, and I may also end up in losing my Bitcoin. This is the procedure. How it works: every user deposits some Bitcoins to their app account. If user fails to get up on time and confirm it with the app, their funds are claimed by the system. So there is a danger that you'll be ending up in losing your money. By the end of each month, all the funds that sleepy users have lost are pooled together. The 90% of that money is redistributed back to those who have managed to meet their commitments and wake up on time throughout the month. Importantly, all those operations aren't managed by people. These are all completely managed by app developed by the Syscoin, and it's blockchain, and it is governed by smart contract. Smart contract is nothing but software rule enforced automatically by a decentralized network of computers. So this is it may seem to be a very silly example for you. Just imagine if we can adapt this to our implementations, like we are going to reward the person who is going to submit their assignment on time. So in that scenario, we can also replicate this. Instead of money, we can say that the guys who have submitted the assignment on time will also get the marks for those who have not yet submitted. So these kind of things which you can think of, and you can use it in your domestic application. The next one, Abra. Abra is, see, this is not available in all country. You have to search. It's not, for sure it's not available in India. So what this Abra does is, this transfers money worldwide instantly and securely. So the specialty here again is, you may be asking like, what is the specialty here? We can also do it through UPI, Paytm, PayPal, and other gateways. The point is, it's all done through blockchain based system. No centralized authority is here. Everything is done and taken care by the smart contract developed to perform this task. I'll show you how it is actually done. You can see here, you deposit the money in the wallet. Once you install that app, you are funding the wallet with the Bitcoin. And you use the Abra app to send or receive money worldwide, no sending fees. By this online wherever Bitcoin is accepted. Use this app to transfer funds to your bank account, your Bitcoin wallet, or find nearby teller to get the cash. So what is this Abra teller? It allows qualified individual to become an Abra teller. Tellers will be able to perform ubiquitous mobile Abra transactions, helping users to see. It will enable them to add cash, withdraw, and transact. Tellers will conduct face-to-face transactions with the users from an agreed meeting place based upon tellers' own fees per transaction and hour. This can also be initiated. See, if you are not ready to use that, you can also use the services of Abra Teller. Academic records and academia. So what does this stands for? So Halberton School was the first school or academic institution. They started this project in May 2017. They were the first to authenticate its academic certificates with the Bitcoin based blockchain. How did they do? They were in partnership with the company called BitProof, a startup specialized in document certification in the blockchain. By having student certificates available in a public blockchain, Halberton School makes it easier for employers to check if a candidate is truly graduate from that school. Using any free blockchain explorer available online, such as Merkle, employees can get the answers in seconds. So are you able to understand this? All the certificates will be stored in online by using the concept of blockchain. Next one is provenance, supply chain management example. At the last, do remind me, that day someone asked me like a blockchain use case for apparel industry. I have a document, I'll share it with you or I'll show it to you. Before that, provenance is the first ever blockchain non-transactable or non-financial blockchain emerged in the globe. So provenance is building a traceability system for materials and products. Fluent, remember this, Fluent offers an alternative platform for lending into global supply chains. SQ Chain builds blockchain based product for business to business trade and supply chain finance market. So these are all some players. Blockchain is provenance is a concept where we used to create a traceability for the product. SQ Chain builds end-to-end system for supply chain based finance market. Storj is again another important example where it is encrypted cloud storage. It is a blockchain based end-to-end encrypted distributed object storage where only you have access to your data. It will not have access to, it will not give access to others, and it is also stored in the distributed manner. And it's more like internet file system, IFS. You can also manage, in case if you are running a CSR or if you are running a NGO, you have a financial transaction or you collect money from different persona from across the globe. You can also do it by an example called BitGive. BitGive is a, just a minute.
Balaji, your mic is muted.
Sorry, I got an official call. That's why I'll continue. So I was talking about this BitQ. BitQ actually it was a Kenya-based project where there was an NGO. They wanted to address the water scarcity available in the Kenya, and to do so, they opened up this BitQ project and they asked my people from across the globe to fund them. It was all done through Bitcoin and it was all done. And you can also see the link. I have given the link in all the slides. You can go and verify it. So it was completely done with the help of Bitcoin. Okay, it is a non-profit movement which was enabled by using this blockchain technology. Yes, followmyvote.com. The country like Estonia has already started using blockchain for implementing their voting concept, that is e-voting concept. And followmyvote.com is a wonderful place where you can also go and see this is already there in place. They have come up with the technology and they have released a white paper where they claim that the entire voting process could be done transparently by using this blockchain technology. This is the process. The voter submits picture, government ID card along with the ID public key. Voting booth user interface verifies it. The identify verifier reserves info and approves their ID. Once the voter has been authorized to cast a ballot by both ID verifier and register, they are using the voting. They cast their vote, and once they cast their vote, it will be stored in the distributed repository, what we are following in the blockchain. Car leasing and sales. The entire car leasing project could be done by using this DocuSign. DocuSign is a company which enable this. DocuSign block, I mean, that's a company which enable this car leasing and sales. How do they do? To begin the process, a prospective customer chooses the car they want to lease. After test driving, they evaluate their options and completing the pre-approval. Then the car's identity then registered in Bitcoin blockchain, the secure ledger database used to record transactions over broadly. You all know what is Bitcoin. Then what happens? From the driver's seat, the customer then chooses the lease option for the car, low, mid, or high mileage. For example, DocuSigns signs the leasing contract right there and then. This is all in turn updated to the blockchain. So once the customer gets into the system, he chooses what kind of modality he want to follow for that particular leasing process. Then he will be enabled to do that. The entire process is automated by using this DocuSign blockchain-based software. Once the contract is signed, that will be stored in the form of a transaction in the Bitcoin. Forecasting. When I say forecasting, I don't mean weather forecasting, please. This is all about your financial forecasting. Okay, how are we able to accurately forecast for your money trading options? That is done by Augur. Augur is the entire research analysis, consulting, forecasting industries could be shaken up by the blockchain, because the online crowd-funded platform Augur hopes to capitalize on decentralized prediction market. The company says it will offer a service that looks like a normal betting exchange. The entire process will be decentralized and will not only offer user a place to bet on sports, stocks, but on other topics such as elections, natural disasters, and so on. So if you are interested in predicting something, you can always rely on this Augur. Okay, Augur is a platform. I have also given the link. You can also go there and verify it. Drug traceability. Drug traceability is also another important potential area where we can think of using a blockchain. The manufacturer produces the drug, marks it with an unique code. The wholesaler verifies the origin of the product. The transaction between the manufacturer and wholesaler is added to the blockchain now. Now the pharmacist verifies the origin of the product. The transaction between the wholesaler and pharmacist is added to the blockchain. Now comes the end user. The patient verifies the origin of the product. Transaction between the pharmacist and the patient is added to the blockchain. Now, when you buy a particular drug, you will come to know who was the manufacturer, from him where it came, and from there when it reached the pharmacy, and when are you getting it in your hand, and how long, I mean, what is the remaining period available for that drug to be used. That is, I mean, the expiry date. All such things can be traced. And these are all some startups and companies. Guard Time, they are the company who are creating keyless signature system using blockchain, which is currently used to secure health records. So EHR is being secured by using Guard Time. Guard Time is mostly present in US. REMI is again a decentralized authentication system which aims to replace login and password with SSL certificates stored on a blockchain. So they are trying to even remove your, I mean, they are trying to authenticate your user login and password with SSL certificates in collaboration with your SSL certificates based on a blockchain system. Healthcare, just now we saw about drug tracking, but the core healthcare, this startup GEM is a startup which is working with the Center for Disease Control to put disease outbreak data onto blockchain, which it says will increase the effectiveness of disaster relief and response. This we have already seen. I said about, I mean, if I have not said, you can also go and refer the Google's classical use case of Google flu. Google flu was a wonderful use case where Google was able to predict what will be the next geographical location which will be affected by the swine flu. That was the case study. So similar to that, GEM is a startup company which traces the spread of diseases and alerts the concerned stakeholders about the outbreak of disease in the next area. Simply Vital Health. This is two health-related blockchain products in development, connecting care that takes care of progress of patients after they leave the hospital, and Health Nexus, which aims to provide decentralized blockchain patient record. So the entire patient record will be stored in the form of blockchain. So whichever hospital or whichever dispensary he goes to, he need not to carry any records. Everything will be shared in the form of a blockchain. And the second, for the first one, is more about following up the patient after he gets discharged from the hospital. It may be a physical following, or it may be only the drug following, or it may be only the vital parameter following. MedRec is an MIT project involving blockchain electronic medical records designed to manage authentication, confidentiality, and data sharing. These are all financial services. I think I said about Augur, but Augur is one such example. But you can see Bank Hapolim is a collaboration between Israeli Bank and Microsoft, where they create a blockchain system for managing the bank guarantees. Barclay is a UK-based bank which has already taken a huge initiatives where they involve tracking of financial transaction, compliance, and combating fraud. For example, even before they give a loan to a particular person, its entire digital presence and digital transactions could be traced, and it could be verified if it is available in the blockchain-based system. Maysec is one of the world's largest logistics company. They use, I mean, they are the shipping and transport consortium. They are using blockchain for streamlining their marine insurance, because their job is to port product from one country to another country majorly through ships. If something happens in the ship or ocean, if some storm comes, or if something happens to the goods, how are they going to track? So for that purpose, Maysec is using a blockchain concept. Eternity allows the creation of smart contract which become active when network consensus agrees that conditions have been met, allowing for automated payments to be made when parties agree to the condition that have been met. For an example, what happens is, whenever they interact, for example, I say that whenever I get that product, the automatic money deduction can happen in my account. If that is the agreement which we have signed, so if that for that process we will write a code and we will store it in a form of a smart contract. Whenever a particular process happens, this payment process automatically gets triggered. This is what I discussed earlier also. SQ Chain and Starch.io, it is a cloud-based one. Transact vGrid, this is based on Brooklyn. They allow members to locally produce and sell energy. and goal of reducing cost involved in the energy distribution. See, so I mean, we are also expecting, we are anticipating that in India also soon we will come across battery shops where you can recharge your battery for your vehicle and for your other utilities. Block Verify is a platform which focuses on anti-counterfeit measures with initial use cases in the diamond, pharmaceutical, and luxury good market. So it also acts like verifier where we can also really understand, because the diamond, with respect to diamond, the older the diamond, the cost is more. So we need to really understand what is the age of the diamond. So to do so, blockchain can be used as a candidate. Retail. In retail sector, if you see, uh, Open Bazaar is an attempt to build a decentralized market where goods and services are traded with no middleman directly. In earlier days, if you recall, we had a concept called Ulavar Sandai. It's something similar to that, where it will be between the producer of the good and the buyer of the good. There is no middleman involved in it. Loyal is again a blockchain-based university loyalty framework which allows customers to combine and trade loyalty rewards in a new way, and retailers to offer more sophisticated loyalty packages. If I'm paying back my credit card bill on time, then I may be earning some loyalty points. Based on that loyalty points, what am I going to do is, whenever I make a next purchase, this loyalty points is going to give me some kind of discount. So that adds up some value to my loyalty. So that can be done by using this loyal. Blockpoint.io. Here, all retailers allows retailers to build payment systems around blockchain currencies such as Bitcoin, as well as blockchain-derived gift cards and loyalty schemes. So this Blockpoint.io is a bit typical because it allows you only to work with the Bitcoin transactions or any other cryptocurrency transactions, but it may not be feasible for traditional transactions, wherein now slowly they are also working to extend this to traditional currencies also. Governments, if you
நூலகத்தில் உள்ள மூலமாக நூலக தினத்தன்று அனைத்து குழந்தைகளுக்கான போட்டிகள் அனைத்து நூலகங்கள்
மேம் மியூட் யுவர் ஆடியோ மேம் இளமதி மேம்
போட்டிகளில் பங்கேற்கிறவருக்கும் கலந்து கொள்வோருக்கும் போட்டியில் தேர்மை.
Okay, thank you. So government, we discussed this on that day itself. I said about which are the state governments which are participating in that. Otherwise, you can see here Dubai has already started using blockchain. See, they have completely started using it in across health record, shipping, business, spread of conflict diamonds, and so on. But they have also started slowly using it in their real estate registration as well as in their airport services. Estonia is completely a digitized country. If you can, it's a small European country where entire process is digitized. You have a digital university, you have a digital e-citizenship, you have a digital voting process, whatnot. So it's a wonderful country which has completely leveraged digitization into their everyday lives. South Korea, Samsung is creating a blockchain solution for South Korean government, which will be put into use in public safety and transport applications. GovCoin, the UK Department of Work and Pensions, is investigating using blockchain technology to record and administer the benefit payments. So they are not completely relying on the Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, but they are contemplating of using Bitcoins or cryptocurrencies in their process. And these are all some more use cases: manufacturing, raw material tracking, invoice and receipt management, production tracking, healthcare, what are the other uses, music and entertainment industry, and so on. This is a smart contract. Actually, I should have said it earlier, but I thought that you would have come across smart contract. It is a piece of code or an event-driven program deployed to the shared replicated ledger, which can maintain its own state, control its own assets, and which responds to the arrival of external information or the receipt of assets. So whenever an event takes place, this code gets triggered and it performs its action. That's how this smart contract actually exhibits or works in, I mean, that's its nature of functioning. And these are all some more examples. Okay. There is a divide between blockchain apps that run smart contracts and do useful things, and the blockchain apps that simply use a blockchain like Bitcoin to store the results. See, these are two category of blockchain apps which run smart contracts to do useful things, and which simply uses a blockchain concept like Bitcoin. Okay. So this is the decision path. I think I said it on that day itself. And these are all some research topics: security, privacy, scalability, edge chain, low power cryptographic methods, and can we offer this as a service, so on. These are all some simulators: Ethereum testnet, Bitcoin testnet, multi-chain, addendum, IBM Hyperledger. You have a lot of simulators. These are all the frameworks I think I discussed on that day itself. In this, you can see R3 Coda is meant for consortium based. IOTA is again another big upcoming topic. I mean, you can call that as a sister of blockchain. Internet of Technology acyclic graph, where we are talking about chainless chains. That is the concept of IOTA. And these are all some platforms. See, MetaMask will be the simplest one, which you can install as a Chrome extension. You have Truffle, Ganache, testnets, and so on. And these are all the big companies. You can see here, GovCoin, Follow My Vote. If you recall, I said about all such things: Medrec, Gem, and social networks, and media industry. Civil is a blockchain-powered marketplace where journalism can sustain and flourish in the right direction. Cybersecurity we discussed, and financial services we discussed. Manufacturing, SQ chain, provenance, and retail. I said about Open Bazaar and Loyal. And you have paper chain. Authorship, Poet is a very famous one, which stores the contents, whatever we create in web, that will be stored in the Poet. And real estate, Propy, public registry. These are all some real estate companies and so on. These are all the players who are implementing blockchain already. If you see Google, they are exploring the use of blockchain technology to enhance cloud service security and for data protection. Facebook is exploring blockchain to enhance data security and user privacy. So Ford is leveraging blockchain technology to enhance their mobility of technologies. Likewise, MetLife, Samsung, Walmart, Prudential, FedEx, Alibaba, Apple. So the Apple patented blockchain technology for time sharing data. Okay, time sharing data, Apple has already filed a patent. Nestle, they are using it to maintain or track their supply chain and food products, and so on. So these are all our contributions. When I say our, I mean my students and my fellow colleague members. So these are all the projects what we worked in blockchain. So we used, this is the paper, not accepted, it got published actually. Right now it got published. So blockchain-based chameleon hashing technique for privacy preservation in e-governance system. It recently got published. And the other papers are, we used blockchain concept DApp for electricity meter tracking. And one more project was on how can we leverage blockchain concept in Raspberry Pi based decentralized technology, that is for fog computing, and modern parking issues using blockchain, and blockchain based approach for privacy preservation in healthcare. And one more paper which will be published in December mid is that is getting published in 21st conference taking place in NIT Silchar. That paper, what we have done is we have tried to use gaming console for performing mining operation, and we have recorded those results. And that's it. Do you have any doubts, or I'm open for any discussion? And before that, I'll show you that use case. I promised you about showing that use case. for apparel and logistics management. Yes, it's a white paper of Cognizant CTS. I'll share it. So this document, if you are interested in apparel management, someone asked me on the day about apparel management. So when I was searching, I got this apparel and footwear manufacturing network. This is a white paper of Cognizant Technology Solutions. You can look into it. Retail chain. So the freshness of the product can be tracked. And what are the places where they can apply? I mean, they are coming from strategic pathway, business model, assess and evaluate, prepare and model, key process, illustrative information model. So I think I can share the documents, you can verify it. I'm done. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, sir, Balaji sir.
Yes.
Sir, regarding if you tell no about any use cases, for example, we take any use cases, sir.
Yeah.
For example, any logistic or supply chain management regarding we can take means, for example, if you are on track, okay, sir, if we track using blockchain technology, we can usually obviously in some IoT sensors.
Okay.
For example, I've also see a lot of papers.
Okay.
So in the most of them mention that RFID and NFC, but
Okay.
they are also mingled, integrated. Also, they will done. But I didn't get that. Which one is efficient and
I think I answered you the same question on the first day. You cannot say
yeah,
which one is efficient or not
yeah,
efficient. That is what I'm saying.
yeah,
See, for example, NFC, so far it is not very popular in India, right?
yeah.
We have
Even
not.
why I'm asking is repeat and
Yeah.
again. See, even I'll study a lot of papers, but they not actually this two
No, no,
guys.
no, 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 no. See, what I'm
Yeah,
saying is you are worried about
uh,
which technology you have to use.
yeah,
My concern is I'm worried about why am I using this technology? So, what is the
mm,
ultimate purpose?
mm,
Right? So why do you worry about I mean, see, whether you use a sensor or whether you use a NFC or whether you use a RFID, where is your research actually falls in? Are you
mm.
worried about the quality of content what you are deriving, or are you worried about giving security to the process?
Why,
Where
sir?
does your where
Why,
does your security comes into picture?
sir, why NFC not most of them
No,
using?
the NFC we require some kind of setup, ma. So
Yeah,
NFC India is not yet ready,
yeah.
Okay, so
Why, sir,
it will
it's
take
not.
some time. Yeah, India is not yet ready, but soon it. I mean, we have some places where NFC is already there in place, but
Mm,
soon it will get explored. So government has to. I mean, NFC. Frankly speaking,
mm.
NFC there was a debate. Like
Yes.
there was a debate that some people said that through NFC their private informations could be leaked.
Oh, right, right.
Okay,
Mm.
that is why we have a reservation, because even without your consent we can use this NFC. Am I right?
Yes.
So NFC can run. So
Yeah.
that is the part which we are still hesitant. But again, this is a policy decision. Someone has to come up. Someone has to come up and do that. But I would also say this: the Middle East countries have very commonly, or if you go to Middle East countries, NFC is very commonly used in all places.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So all places, even from starting from billing in a supermarket to a airport launch, you can use NFC. There are some technical challenges which India has to come up. I hope when 5G comes into real effect, NFC will also be there in place.
Okay, okay.
Someone
So,
has to take it forward.
but I read some on both side papers that trust,
Okay.
I mean, True Food or Trust Food, they're
Okay.
using in some QR codes, sir.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. QR codes are
Yeah.
already being proposed. See,
Yes.
QR codes are used even for toll supply, toll bill payments. If you take countries like Germany or Hungary, or I mean, particularly Germany and Netherlands, what they do is for your just now we have started using FASTag. Am I right?
Yes,
But
yes, sir.
these kind
But
of concepts were there for a long time. Even before 5 to 10 years back, West countries were following it.
yeah.
But now, recently, if you see, when I say recently, I'm saying about 3 years back. 3 years back itself, all the cars in Germany were coated with QR code on their top. So now because they had some problem in this where to place these fast tags. Okay,
Yes.
so some countries their compatibility was not there, so they sometimes it could not read. So what they did was they placed the QR reader on the top of it, and now universally they are following the QR code on top of the car, so that when you cross, you need not have any human intervention. Automatically, QR codes are used for your tolls.
Okay.
So, again, answering your question, you may ask me like why we are not implementing it. Someone has to start it. Okay.
Yeah. So
Someone has
one more
to.
doubt, sir.
Yeah, please.
Regarding, you've shown that the framework and that coding. For
Yes.
example, Hyperledger Fabric, they use it in some Javas. You
Okay.
mentioned in that slide, I thought. So for exclusively the Java or
No,
some,
no, 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 no. Hyperledger Fabric is a separate framework.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I
Which
think
kind?
you would have used. See, Hyperledger is a proper enterprise framework, I would say. See,
Yeah.
where you have to use Hyperledger is, for example, let's imagine Balaji and Nasruddin are doing business for 10 years. Okay,
Yes.
so if someone newly, let's imagine Prakash is starting doing business with me only from past 2 months.
Okay.
So imagine the scenario. I'm a wholesale agent. I'm supplying you some goods.
Mm.
Since you are a 10-year-old customer, I'll be giving you goods in a subsidiary rate. Am I right? Because
Yeah.
you are my
Yes.
long-standing customer.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
be giving this product to you for 10 rupees.
Mm.
Whereas Prakash has only newly joined as a customer. So I'll be giving the same product to him for 12 to 13 rupees.
Yes.
Right? But if we follow the blockchain concept, everything will be distributed, everything will be known to everyone. He will be hurted or not.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, because he'll be questioning me like, see, I'm a new customer. So being a new customer, you cannot punish me.
Mm.
So that will be the argument from Prakash. So what we do is we are trying to add some kind of hiding parameters into this. That's where the Hyperledger helps you. Right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Hyperledger, if you look into the Hyperledger, you have variety of frameworks.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
would
Yes.
have been exposed to Fabric and Composer,
Fabrics, how to
but
butter
there are lot of other frameworks
frameworks is
also.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lot of frameworks are there which you can use when you are going for it. But if you're relying on a public blockchain, if you want to create a public blockchain, you need not to worry about Hyperledger at all. You can develop it by using any programming language, front-end programming language. But I recommend you to use a scripting language. That's all.
Script. So depend upon the application also,
Yeah.
the framework is different, no, sir? For example, Hyperledger frameworks, a
No,
lot of
framework doesn't depend on application.
Yeah, that is the thing. Depend upon the use cases.
No, that is what I'm saying. See, yes. Usually industries will rely on Fabric,
Okay.
Nasruddin, because that's what I said. Because they'll be usually depending on Hyperledger Fabric framework. But let's say if you want to do a research, you need not to worry about a hybrid frame. You need not to go for a Fabric. You can still develop your own framework. That is what I'm trying to advocate. How can you develop it? You need a scripting front-end language. You need a backend. Okay, you need an interface. It will be again a full stack development. But why I suggest you a front end, you can rely on AngularJS, you can develop it by using Node.js, you can develop it by using Python. All such things are possible. Any backend, any front end, interface, create a blockchain framework.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. I'll show you some. Again, don't expect a very heavy project from me. I'll show you some kind of I'll show you some kind of sample projects what we did. I gave input to students, and my students they developed it. I'll show you those PPTs if I think we have a time. So I'll show you that. So that will give you a simple idea like how can we go about it. Okay. I'll just show you 1 minute. 1 minute. I'll show you that.
First, let me explain the question. First, we have to create a list of student grades, guys. Okay, a list of student grades. Okay, so some n number of student grades.
So, are you able to see this agri insurance project?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, I'll show you. Wait. I'm not going to explain you. This project is meant to create a blockchain-based framework to estimate the crop insurance. Okay, so these are all the primary actors you can see here. So this was developed completely using Hyperledger. So someone claims status of his claim form, and these are all some sample code you can see here. Ledger view, and the surveyor will check whether what he claimed was true or false. Then he forwards that. Then that is the respective ledger view. And again, the assessor comes into picture. He now authenticates that. Now that's his ledger view. And approver comes into picture. The claim is approved. Finally, we are going to approve the, the amount will be credited to the bank if the approver approves it. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
This is a simple example. This can be used. And I'll show you one more project. One more project is educational chain. Okay. Able to see this edu chain?
Wait, sir. It's shown in previous one.
Oh, okay,
previous
1 minute. I'll stop sharing and do it again. Okay, now you can see me, right? See that?
Yeah, yes, sir. Edu chain.
Edu chain. What we did was, this, if you recall, there was a system in Anonymity quite some time back. Oh, this we generated only by using Python. Okay, you can see we used JSON data, generated PDF. What we do is we load the PDF question. It is more like helping the examination conduction. Participants, I kindly request you to mute. Thank you. So what we do is we upload the PDF question paper into the blockchain based server. So here we check whether only when the consensus is arrived, the user will be able to download or see the question paper. You can understand this. So for example, you recall earlier quite some time back, probably if the person who have worked with the AUT Coimbatore or AUT Chennai, during that time question paper was mailed to us in the email form. So
yes, sir.
You remember that? Okay, good. So imagine if someone opens it early, how will the university will come to know?
Yes, sir.
So to do, I took that as a constraint. So what I said was, when to open. If someone wants to really open, then they should have got at least, if 100 people are there, then at least 51 people should approve that. Otherwise, he will not be able to open it. You got it?
Yes, sir.
It's a simple use case, what we developed by using Python. That is the case study here. You can see here. And again, I'll show you one more project, what we did. One more project was on, once again, healthcare. Okay.
Medichain, sir.
Yes, I'll show you that. Medical data management. What we did was, see, naming we kept actually.
Yeah.
So the problem statement is to store and manage private healthcare data and create well-defined structure using blockchain. That's all. We are just storing the data. We are not doing any analysis. So the system design is this. And this is the code implementing the basics of blockchain, building a block, manipulation of created chain, then mining a block, all such things, future scope. Okay, here I'll share it as a paper. Actually, here she has not given complete details. We have a paper. I'll show you the paper. Don't worry. 1 minute. Before that, I'll show you sensor data classification also. Sensor data also we tried. But it was all, I think you can understand, it was all in the student level projects. So
yes, sir.
Value addition I have not done. I'll show you one more paper where we had real value addition. These are sensor data. What we do is, we collect the data, we create the chain, we tend to encrypt that. The data will be encrypted. So you can see here, the entire data will be encrypted. You can see here in the hash. It's all stored in the form of hash. This is how it will look like. This is the actual data. So we will store them in the form of chains. In the
So what is the theme of this project, sir?
Nothing. Whenever you collect a data from a sensor-based device, we are not going to see. This is the original data.
Okay.
We will not show you the original data. What will
Yeah,
happen
yeah.
is
Hash
we will
value
be
can.
storing it in the hashed value.
Hash value. Okay, okay.
That's the ultimate aim.
Okay.
And one more, yes, that is also. This was actually we presented it as a Springer paper. I'll show you. One minute. Okay, I don't have that. But what we did there was we tried to preserve the privacy of data stored in the healthcare based blockchain. That is actually the paper what we published. Actually, that is the title of the paper. I'll show you that paper.
If you don't know, if you're copying from somewhere and submitting, right?
No problems if
Yeah,
available.
no problem. No, not a problem. That is available in the web. You can also see that.
Yeah,
So
give
that
the URL, sir. We will see.
yeah, I have given it. What we did was a blockchain-based approach for privacy preservation in healthcare. See, we tried to change the SHA algorithm little bit, so it usually generates 64-bit hash value. What we tried there was we tried to convert. We extracted that phenomena and we tried it with 32-bit, so as to reduce the complexity. So that we presented as a paper. And the recent paper what we published, my scholar Ranjit Kumar, he published was, instead of using a RSA algorithm, we proposed a chameleon hash algorithm, and how chameleon hash algorithm could be used for e-governance applications when we are using blockchain. The next work what we have completed now is, that is on the verge of publishing. We also used ring signature, and how can we use that. And another research work which I'm currently doing is I'm also trying to work on a new proof algorithm. So 14 algorithms are already there. We are taking up the merits of all those 14 algorithms and we are working on a concept. I hope soon we will be coming up with some answers. So these are all the work what I'm doing in blockchain based area. And that's it. So use cases, you have a lot of use cases, and you try to localize the problem.
Yes, yes.
I would have presented a globalized problem, you globalized use cases. Don't worry
Mm-hmm.
about globalized use cases. You that's where your role actually comes into picture. You should think how can you localize the problem for your local needs. So recently I have submitted a project to DST where I have proposed blockchain based waste management system. So whenever someone sees the waste, if they intimate the government, they should be given with some loyalty points. That is the concept what I have developed and I have presented. I have submitted as a project. So this is how we have to work on. This is how we have to keep on working. Any questions?
Thank you, sir. That's all, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And Balaji Smita, she has put in a chat window.
Oh, okay.
Any drawback in healthcare data security using blockchain?
Yes. So what is that drawback in healthcare data security using blockchain? It's again, if you ask me drawback, yes, maybe some drawbacks may be there, but usually, see, when we are talking about drawback, any system is not out of limitation. If I say scalability is again a drawback, not only data security. See, I won't say blockchain using a blockchain is a drawback in security. It actually adds security to blockchain. Adds security to data. But scalability could be a factor that doesn't have anything to security. Have I answered your answer? If I want to answer it straight, no. There is no drawback by using blockchain with respect to security.
Okay, any question, participants? Okay, right, Balaji. Thank you for
Thank you.
For your presentation, and it's very helpful for us.
Yeah,
and thank you, Balaji, once again. And please share your PPT so that
yes, I'll share it.
communicate to participants.
Now, once we finish this, I'll share it with you. I was waiting to share both. I'll share it with you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Prakash. Thank you so much.
And the participants, you can come back by 2 p.m. We will be having an assessment test by 2 p.m. And few you have been asked about an pattern. It's an MCQ pattern. And the test link, it will be shared in the group at 2 p.m.
Thank you, sir.